In 9 paintings, we're going to take you from basic to fabulous. Welcome to the Paint Garden. My name is Sarah Muse.
And I'm Megan Muse.
And today we're going to do this beautiful Monstera. We're going to start today with this level 1 painting, step 1.
Level 1, step 1.
And then next time,
We'll move on to step 2.
make it more awesomeness. And then finally, end with this coolness.
Of step 3.
But today, let's start here. Okay, before we go on, like, subscribe, comment.
Yes.
And if you wait until the very, very end of the painting, at the end of the video, Megan's going to tell you about herself.
A random fact about me.
Join the group so you can share all the fun things that you've learned and created. And let's get to it. Okay, so
Do you pull up your card? So today our objectives are going to be line weight, color blocking, negative space, and...
you asked like a question, negative space?
I know, I didn't mean to make it a question. It's going to be negative space. So we're going to... On your card, it says we're using Big Sky palette, but today me and Sarah are going to show you guys the differences between a Big Sky and a Cloudy Coast palette. So between the two of us, this is going to look a little bit different.
It is, and it's going to be cool. If you look at the palette here, I have a Cloudy Coast, and you have a Big Sky. Mm-hmm. Right? The colors, we still have a brown, yellow, blue, red, and a white, but they're slightly different. Mm-hmm. Raw umber. Burnt sienna, cadmium yellow, yellow ochre, ultramarine blue, Prussian blue, cadmium red, alizarin crimson red, bleached titanium, and unbleached titanium white. Mm-hmm. We're still going to be using our mixing mediums, but it's monochromatic. It's greens. Greens.
We're going to live in green today.
Yes, we are. So
our first step is going to be to set up our palettes. So we're going to begin by mixing ultramarine blue and cadmium yellow on your palette to create green. We're going to add more yellow to create a lighter green and increase the amount of blue to create a darker green. So we need at least 2 for right now, a light and a dark. If you're using a different palette, of course, Sarah's going to be using Prussian and yellow ochre. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see how different our 2 greens are going to turn out. It's going to be a big difference, actually, guys.
it's going to be awesome.
People underestimate how different greens can be.
Right? And it really, like, you just can't pick a blue and a yellow and mix them together and just be like, oh, green.
Mm-hmm.
You can play with it.
Really going to be quite a bit different.
Now you might ask, well, why don't I use 2 blues? Why don't I use, whatever blues I want? You can.
You can.
And they create beautiful paintings. When you use a limited palette, it creates more of a unified picture. And again, it's just a matter of choice.
Yes.
And half the time, you don't have a gazillion dollars to go buy all of the colors. Right. Because this stuff is expensive. Somebody was asking me how much a set of Liquitex paint is, and it's like $80 just for the basic colors.
Uh-huh.
And that's not even big tubes or anything. You're going to go through it fast if you paint a lot. So...
go through it less if you have medium and you can add body to your paint.
The mixing medium really doubles your volume. So it's worth investing in the mixing medium. Okay, let's talk about mixing dark into light. I'm going to come here and I'm going to create little mixing puddles with my yellows. So I have this one that I'm just going to kind of keep mostly yellow. Don't need a whole lot. Then I'm going to have these 2 that I'm going to just add a little bit of blue into. So I'm just going to take this amount of blue here and see what I get. Again, mixing it. Do you see how just that much blue took over all that yellow? I should have mixed it on the other side. We're going to have like dark, light, middle, light. And my green is very different than your green going to be.
Yeah.
It's a very blue green. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this and mix it into here.
So I mixed like the tiniest amount of blue into my big old blob. I made a lot of paint because I feel like
I probably didn't make enough, huh?
we're going to need a lot of green in this picture. And since we are using wet palettes, my paint will last through all 3 stages. If you don't have a wet palette, you might not want to mix up as much.
Yeah, I'm going to run out. Now, you can use yellow ochre. You can also use a cadmium light for here, and then a cadmium medium. And I think, truthfully,
Are you going to need 2 because you made brown?
yeah, I made brown. I need a medium. This cadmium is just not cadmium, it's ochre.
It's ochre.
And it makes like poop.
Mostly brown.
Yeah. Do we have the medium?
Well, we typically use a more... Well, no, that is pretty light. We don't have a medium in acrylics.
Oh heavens, we only have that in oils.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna yeah. I'm gonna pollute my palette.
She's cheating, y'all.
I'm cheating. Cheater, pumpkin eater.
With the yellows, it's hard, though, honestly, because yellow is just a really important color. I never really thought about how much yellow I use until, like, you run out of yellow, you're in a bit of a situation. All right, so I have my light green. Now I'm gonna add more blue to this yellow to create a dark green.
There we go. So I have my yellow mixed up with my mixing medium. I'm going to create some puddles here. Now I'm going to be smart and start with this one and mix it into light. So I'm just going to take a dab. Oh, golly. Getting on my thumb. And just take a dab here, not very much. Mix it in. It goes nice green pretty fast. And this really helps you see how, remember in my college class, my acrylic college class, it was at a community college, so, you know, take it what's worth. We did a color theory thing that I really didn't grasp, and she didn't really give us feedback. I never figured out how to do color theory, and it felt, it's frustrating for most people.
Color theory?
Yeah. They're like, that is not green. I mixed a yellow and I mixed a blue. Like,
It is kind of. It would look more green on a not white palette.
yeah, on a gray palette.
Uh-huh. Because it's like almost a, what is that? It's almost like an army green, kind of.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. This is a really great middle color, but this is supposed to be my light, so I need to get that to there. This needs to be much darker. I just had a lot of paint on here.
Great.
Trying to mix as fast as I can.
Okay, so I have a bunch of different tones on here. We're going to come here, look at my main canvas while you finish mixing. Actually, don't look at my main canvas. Let's look at the card.
Yeah.
What is the first step?
So once we get your greens,
The first step, the number 2, is block in your canvas. Using a flat brush, cover the entire canvas with light green. Let it dry completely. That's a very straightforward. Or let's tell you how to be more successful with this. Let's come here and look at your palette again. You're going to want to come here and baptize your brush and then kind of squeegee it off. I'm coming and taking kind of this middle green right here. And I'm loading my brush with just the tips of my brush. And I'm coming like this. I'm pulling it through. You're not going to want to get it on the scalp of the brush, right? And I'm not witching brewing it. I'm not. I'm keeping that bristle nice and flat and pulling it through. Now, if you come here to the canvas, I'm going to come and I'm going to squish on my paint, holding my brush upright, and then tiptoeing it to move it around. And then again, squishing to get the paint on and tiptoeing. If you need more water to make it less craggly, go ahead and just kiss the water. You don't have to baptize it again. And you just come here, put a nice thin coat. I don't have enough pigment. I'm going to add a little bit. But the thinner, not the thinner. Make sure it's the right consistency or you're going to be struggle bussing.
Yeah. And since this is going to actually be our primary, what our leaf is, we need to make sure that it's thick enough that we can't see our canvas, but not chunky.
Yeah, let's look at over here with the whole canvas we're on. And I'm looking here, I'm painting this on, and I'm not looking at my reference. What color do we need? We need a lot darker.
This dark one?
Right? No. Oh, guys.
I was like, no, it's supposed to be the light green.
We're switching it up. Your brain, we're painting the leaf now, and then we're cutting in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain's going to break.
Yes. So we'll use more yellow, but that's all right.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'll just have a really bright leaf.
And how would you make it not so yellow?
Add more blue.
Add more blue. Pull my handle back, Sarah.
I'm probably actually too close.
Yeah. You're going to be here for a bit, so loosen up your body. And make sure you're sitting far away. You have a long handle for a reason. And just come and paint this. Look at the card. Number 3 is draw the leaf. So if you notice, we need to fill the whole canvas with the whole leaf. We're going to do a big circle that almost touches the edge. So use chalk to lightly draw the overall shape of the Monstera leaf to establish size and placement. Once satisfied, add the inner cutouts, and detail along the edges of the leaves. Yes. So, but before you do that, it needs to be blow dried.
It has to be completely dry or your chalk will not go down on your paint.
Right, at all. So, I guess it's now time to blow dry.
Yeah, I go blow dry. If they don't need to hear me blow dry.
No, they don't.
Ron, you can mute me.
So, when we have this canvas here, we want to make sure it's dry to the touch. And we're going to draw a big circle around the whole thing. It's important to do an overall shape to make sure when you start drawing, you know where it's going to be on the canvas, right? Whether it's over here, over there, or whatever. We're just going to come and sketch an overall shape. Now, if you can't do a circle, it's because you're using your fingers to draw it. My fingers are not moving. My arm is. See that? Around like this. Okay. Now I know in a general place where my Monstera should be. Because if you're not careful with this, you're going to have this little thing right there. So we're going to come a line of symmetry down the middle, and I'm going to make mine a little off-center to create some visual stuffs.
Visual stuffs.
If you come here, and let's look at this, Musies. Let's look at this camera right here, where you're going to look at the negative space, right? You have the big circle, you have your line down, and then you have like this V, right? If you look back at my reference, I'm going to come here And that V is going to go clear down, and this is going to go up like this. Okay. And if you look back at your reference, back over here with Megan and I, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to need 4 leaves, so 3 cutouts. And I'm going to come and do the V, and then I'm going to do the bottom of the leaf. So again, let's watch me draw this. You have this line like this. I'm going to have the bottom of this leaf. I'm going to draw kind of a pointy, what shape is that? A pointy circle? Sure. And then that's 1, and I'm going to come here and go 2, 3. And then I'm going to come here and go 1, 2, 3. If you come look back at the reference, you come look back here. These ones they go in pretty far. And this one goes in far and then not. Creates a little bit of a, I don't know, funness. It creates funness, people.
Creates funness.
And you know what I did?
Far down.
Variety. I didn't wash out my brush. And acrylic dries really, really fast. I'm going to take my mule mug and just beat the devil out of it over the edge. Take out the water. Put it on my nice little holder. And look what Megan's doing right now. She's magic.
Magic eraser.
Magic eraser.
I didn't give myself enough room at the bottom, so I need to bring this up.
So how are you erasing that?
I got a clean paintbrush and put some water on it and just erased my chalk.
Pro tip. If you have your head going back and forth the whole time, you're going to draw it easier. If you try to go here and then draw it, you're going to get something like it, but it's going to be less accurate. So back and forth the whole time. Like that.
And give yourself some distance.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I had a student had her nose buried in a reference and her picture, and it was throwing all of her proportions way off.
Come out. And then just because, you thought it's going to be somewhere and it changes, be okay to erase. I always tell my students they need to erase at least 3 times. Even if they're amazing and they can whip out something pretty accurate, it's better if you erase a lot. Use your eraser as much as your pencil. And then I'm just going to come here and flow these in so that I can step back. You have to make it exist before you make it perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So that is definitely not perfect. Let's come and step back and analyze it. And I'm going to observe. You're going to go from here to here to here to here to here to here
To here, to here.
to here.
Yeah.
And then you're going to really analyze it and decide what line or shape can be changed to make it more like the picture. I'm going to start relating points. The points I'm going to relate are these ones right here. Right? And I'm going to go from this one to this one. This one goes a little bit higher. This one goes skinnier. Kind of comes a little bit more in there. Let's get my magic eraser. Bloop, bloop. I'm going to move that line, make it thinner where I need it to define it. This negative space is a little bit more like boom, whoop. And then I'm going to erase the parts of the lines I don't need. Like that. Back at the end. Come in here. Now my canvas is smaller than the reference, so I have to take that into account too. Okay. So I have used these lines, and I've related how to put, I have come here and drawn these lines in here and have had to move my circles to adjust them, right? And so you've seen me erase a few different times. I'm looking at the negative space between this part right here and realizing he needs to be moved up and just smaller because my canvas is smaller. I keep on making him the same size as my reference, but it just needs to go smaller. And really, my favorite two tools are where a line starts, where it goes, where it ends. And then anytime a line stops, curves, or touches is a point, and I can relate the different points to each other. See, just like that. And again, stepping back. I'm going to step back again and really see what I've drawn, not what I thought I've drawn. Get away from your canvas. Move your body. You shouldn't be hunched over the whole time.
No gremlining.
No more gremlining.
Gremlin.
I can't even talk anymore. Now, you have to have a balance between this two, okay? So muses. Have a balance here.
A balance.
A balance. I've had an instructor that everything has to be perfect, right? And I think it sucked all the joy out of art.
Yeah.
And I've had students that are like, it's good enough, I like it. And it's like, yeah, great, you like it, but I want to teach you the skill on how to make it more like the picture.
As close as you can get it.
Uh-huh. So you have this balance where, yeah, you like it, it looks good, but push yourself. Try to make it more like the reference, yet still, not exactly the same. So I'm faster than making. Step back, observe yours. Next step, here we're going to go and it's going to be really cool. Instead of painting the leaf, we're painting the background now with a darker yellow, green, whatever color that is.
So we're inversing this. We're going to be putting our darks in to create the actual leaf shape. So we refer to it as like cutting in.
Right. So let's look at the card.
So
let's switch to the card.
In step 4 of the card, it says define the leaf shape. With an angle brush in your dark green, paint the background and carefully cut out the leaf's holes and edges, allowing the leaf shape to emerge.
You can tell you were a former librarian.
Because I'm used to reading out loud.
And you have just that voice. So the leaf shape to emerge. If you look at your card, we're going to use your angle brush to cut around it to get to that final shape, okay? So let's look at the canvas again, my canvas. And we're going to use your angle brush. The one with the angle.
The angle.
And we're going to come here and we're going to do a lot of squishing motions. Do you see how I'm going to squish my brush? And I have to be able to load my brush right to be able to squish it around. So let's look at the palette. I have used this color for my green. And I need to go darker now. So how do you do that?
To make your greens more dark, we're going to add in more blue.
I'm going to come here with just a little bit of blue. Not much. You can't take the blue out, so just add a little bit at a time. Do you have your dark blue?
Dark green.
Green, thank you.
I'm going to use this one.
Okay.
It's actually... Well, maybe I should darken it a smidge. It's real dark against because mine's my light green is very light.
So what you didn't see off camera, let's do it again, Musies. Let's come here, Musies, and look how we're taking this and we're referencing, right? And then I'm coming here and I'm like, is that dark enough? right?
I don't think mine is dark enough. I'll
Right.
just make it really, really dramatic.
Okay, so let's look at the palette again. And she's going to need to take some of that and put some more blue in it. You got it? Oh, that scraping noise. Why did that bug me today?
I don't know. No,
I don't know.
Does it?
No, it's usually kind of soothing. But today, and that's another thing I love about painting. Like, yeah, sometimes I put my audiobook or music in and I just have fun. Other times I just listen. Listen. What is that called? ASMR?
ASMR.
Yeah,
ASMR.
ASMR. I'm so dyslexic. I have to like think about it. I'm going to come listen to my palette, listen to the ASMR, and just be present. And think about how much paint is going to take to fill all the edges around. You don't want to have to stop halfway through and mix up more paint.
I think it's true.
So, once you have it, let's go back to a close-up of my... Nope, don't do a close-up. We're going to come here. I want you to see how I load my brush. I'm going to take the paint off my palette knife. And it's nice and goopy, right? Can you see how goopy that is? I'm going to come here and pull it through. My goal is, first thing, not to get the paint up here on the top of the bristles, the scalp, and to create a nice crisp edge like this, right? And so then now you can look at my picture, my painting, whatever it is. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to realize I need more blue in my paint. And I'm going to use the tip of that angle brush and squish and pull it down. And then, yeah, I'm going to mix it more blue. So you can go, you look at Megan, use these. You can just watch Megan do this in the meantime. There we go. Mix a nice darker green. It feels so blue on my canvas. Right?
And
There we
mine
go.
didn't look dark enough until I put it down on my canvas because my light green is very light.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to see this a little bit more up close. So let's come back onto my canvas here. See it really up close. How I take my brush. Again, I figure out where the line starts, goes, and ends. I'm using my whole arm, not my fingers. And I'm taking that line and squishing it like this. And I'm filling around the edges. I'm loading up my brush, making sure I have a nice point, and I'm figuring out where that leaf is, the edge of that leaf, and squishing it on. I'm mindful that I want to keep it flat, so any of the little bubbly blobs, I'm tiptoeing out. I'm taking my brush and I'll psh, 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 psh. My paint is feeling a little bit too thick, so I'm going to just kiss the water.
Be careful not to make it too thin. Mine was too thin and now it's not covering the white quite. I would want it to. So I'm just going to let it dry over there for a bit and then I'll go back over it.
Yeah, sometimes if it's too thin and you start painting, it'll start lifting the paint up. And then you're like, and you try to put more paint down and it just keeps on getting worse. Just give it some breathing room.
Yep, let it relax for a bit and settle. And you can go back over it.
Yeah. We're going to come here. I have drawn my leaf clear in here, but I'm going to make sure that I'm going back and forth with my reference, with my eyes, even now. And as I start making this form come to life, I'm making sure my drawing's correct, right? I notice that this leaf needs to come up a little bit bigger. This one doesn't need to be cut in all the way. You can just go ahead and fill it in, but still reference it with your eyes. When you're painting, still look back and forth to make it more like the picture. You tracking?
Curved right here. Right now it's kind of spiky. It's like.
So let's look at Megan's. I need to know what you mean.
Right here. So this is a very like triangular shape, but this has more of a curve to it right here at the bottom. So when my cutout needs to involve that rounding of this edge.
So I'm gonna look at your drawing. You probably don't want to change it too much, but I want to educate why this feels weird. Let's look at this point and that point and this point and that point. What do you notice? Does yours need to be longer or is it too short? It's too long. This needs to have more space.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was like,
Yeah.
it's too long. It needs to be shorter.
And so I think
Not too
again,
big of a deal. I
it's
can
not
go
too
over
big
with
of a
this one.
deal at all. If we go and try to change that now, it's gonna look stupid. But just being aware of that, right? Like here, you could change this one a little bit. Mine over here, I'm just having the same problem. Like that needs to be bigger. This is just too big for taking this size of canvas and scaling it down. That's where we're struggling. Like this is too thick. Notice these things, be aware of these things, but don't, like if you don't cry and
Don't
change.
cry.
Don't cry. It's okay if it's a little bit different, but if it looks stupid, figure out what you can do to make it not look stupid. And that's putting your eyes back and forth, observing it, making decisions. Now, it's important to visualize those decisions. I'm going to come here, and if I make this one go up higher, I'm going to lose my negative space, the space between the leaf and the edge of the canvas. I don't think I want to do it, so I'm going to just kind of visualize this. And do you see how that curve has some lines in it? Right? I think I'm satisfied with that. I'm going to visualize this. It has a little right here. You have to make the noises.
Yes.
And then I think I am going to cut this in a little bit more.
Sorry, could we cut back into the darker green with the lighter green?
Theoretically.
Is that an option?
It is. I'm going to have to make sure that's a good question, Ron. I think I'm going to have to anyways because this is too thin and needs another layer. You're going to first have to make sure it's darker, or not darker, dry. And then two, putting something over that's light over dark, it might give us issues. We'll see. Mostly like a pure yellow over any other color.
Yeah,
It's harder.
it's not going to go. But,
So,
yeah, we'll have to see. We could probably, because we were correct, we might need to go on another layer of my green anyways. But, it's probably possible.
I need to kiss my water.
Is the smacking sound necessary for that?
It might be. We're going to come here and cut in these holes. Now, if you notice, I'm using that brush as kind of like a, and then here it's going to be too hard with my angle brush. I'm going to switch to my little brush. You're going to want to make sure you load that brush again to make it sure it's nice and flat. Do you see how like it's really skinny on the side? And then we're going to come use your whole arm, whoop, not your fingers, and paint it in. Reference the painting when you're painting, people. Just don't paint in what you drew in the first time. Okay, this is a little bit more like that. This little guy has a little bit more sharp angles. Hey, Musies. I looked over at yours. I was like, what you do? She turned it upside down.
I turned it upside down, and so now it's kind of looks like it's attacking us. Vaguely.
He's like a little guy with
Looks
lots
like
of
a little
eyeballs.
Guy.
I like it. Okay, so we've gotten the eyeballs in, and we've cut around it. Let's go back to the card with us.
Okay.
We've defined the leaf shape. Now number 5, add detail and dimension. Mix a medium green by combining your lights and dark greens. Use an angled brush or small brush. Paint the leaf veins.
Veins.
I'm so dyslexic. The leaf veins, varying line thickness to create depth and movement. Yeah, but we need to paint it again, I think. Paint the actual leaf before we do that.
We can.
Let's do that. Okay, step 5 is actually a little bit different. So let's come here. Let's look at the painting again. Let's see what we're doing. We're going to come and grab a lighter green, a little bit more yellow. I'm going to have to hurry and mix it. There we go. And I'm cutting around this. Oh, that is so yellow.
That is pretty much just yellow, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What? No, don't do that, Sarah.
I was like, that's yellow, yep.
That is. There we go. And we're going to take that brush and cover over all of those chalk lines. And I like slightly varying greens in there. I'm going to play with that a little bit.
See, I'm
Cut that in.
intentionally having varying greens now. I'm not trying to.
I think it'll take too much work to make them all the same. And leaves aren't all the same green. Right?
Yeah,
Right.
they have different greens. Well, depending on the leaf, some of them. So some real live plants look fake. And it's always because they're just so weirdly consistent in their coloration.
Yeah.
So I always look at them, I was like, is that a real leaf? And I was sitting there poking at it like, is that real? I can't tell.
Uh-huh. I'm going to come here and make all my chalk disappear. Disappearing chalk. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So Musies, the next step is to create these veins. I've left my chalk poking through to be able to kind of map out where they are. Megan's gone ahead and just painted over them, which is totally fine because they're lines, right? You can draw a line. You just need to focus on their line starts, goes, and ends. If you notice here, these two are, it's kind of like a little guy with his arms up, right? So he comes here and goes up and down, and it goes almost the edge of that leaf here at the point, up and down. He has a little head. Now, this is where his legs start to kind of go whoop. His legs start down here and up here, and then go down. There's not such a, this one's a little bit less dramatic than this one. It goes up and down. These two are closer, but this one's still higher. And it goes, instead of going up, it goes down and around. Here it's more straight. And of course, this is the body that's straight, straight, straight. So I'm going to come here and create a color that's more close to the background, a little bit darker. And I am going to, again, focus where the line starts, where it goes, where it ends. I'm going to reference it here and reference it here. And it goes not quite to the end, where it comes like this and goes straight down. I'm going to talk about line weight. That's one of our objectives, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want a consistent pressure every single time. So if you do a close-up here of the canvas, right? I'm going to come here and push harder where I want it fatter. Then I'm going to do it skinnier and then fatter and bring it in just like that. And I'm going to take a little bit a lighter green over here. Oh, very light of a green. And pull it around it because there we go. I want to see that line. Right? And I'm going to darken up that little dot like this. Get it really, really dark. Then I'm going to take that dark and I'm going to, before I paint it, I'm going to make sure it's in the right spot. It's by the edge of this, but not so close. I'm going to squish my brush. I'm going to turn it, make it thin, squish it again, bring it into the middle. I'm going to reload my brush like this and bring it here. I'm going to make this one start a little bit more down than my line, so it creates a little bit of space between there, and I am losing my darkness here. I'm doing a wet into wet, and this reference was painted after the background was dried. It creates a little bit more of a blurring between the lines, which is actually a kind of a cool technique. Like that. More realistic, but then, yeah, it still needs work. And so instead of messing with all my one line and making it perfect, I'm going to throw all these lines in and then work with it. I don't want to sit there and mess too much with all of this all the time. I'm going to flow them in, and I'm going to mess with the whole canvas for this to make it look more unified. And sometimes you mess with it, and then you mess with this one, and you mess with this one, and you realize, oh, I should have, you just keep on overworking it. And you don't want that. So you have all the lines in there. I'm noticing this. He looks like he's an angry man.
An angry man?
Yeah, you have two eyeballs and then these big eyebrows. Do you see that? And this kind of his mouth is like...
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. So I'm going to come here and refine these lines here. Like this. And lighten up space around it. Like that. Now again, if you want it really flat and stuff, you're going to have to blow dry between it a little bit more. So Musies, let's talk about Megan's here. Can you show for the crowd? Do you see how I'm working the whole canvas and she's painted it on, waited for it to dry a little bit, and it's a cleaner, smoother look. It's more like the reference, right? I'm kind of all over the place and it's creating more depth, but I really like the smoothness of this one. I really like the simplicity, right? And you have to be a little bit more intentional to get that beautifulness, right? She's working one thing at a time.
I'm going to catch up with you in a second.
You're going to catch up with me in a second.
Yeah, I need to make an in-between color for my veins. Okay.
This is where I want to like get a close-up of you and show it, because yours is more like the reference.
Yes.
Yes. And mine's just an angry man right now. It's just step 2. I'm in step 2. I did step 2. This is what the step 2 is supposed to look, guys.
I was
I'm
like, I don't
sorry.
know what you're going to do for step 2.
I'll just make it more gooder, okay?
And make it step 3?
Shh. Okay, spray. My palette is starting to get a little bit dry. Okay, let's go back to a close-up on my canvas. And I think what I'm going to have to do is lighten this up to go around it and cut in those a little bit more. It's drying different. It's drying darker. My middle color.
Acrylic paint dries darker.
You see that? There we go.
Okay, so veins.
And I'm going to spray my...
And pull back. My lines are lighter, not darker.
White Musies, you just go look at her for a bit. I don't like all this attention while I figure this out. Did you get her on camera?
Swoosh.
Camera 1? Good.
And pull back.
There we go. Let's talk about the line weight as that line, the middle line, meets the edge. If you notice, it gets a little bit fatter and skinnier. This one just gets a little bit fatter. We're going to want to take the lines closest to the stem, make them slightly fatter, and then skinnier as they go out. If you look at mine, I have this little skinny, skinny, fat. I need to come here and make it more fat, right? I need to come here and really define this line. And I need to make it so it looks organic. Organic leaves and branches get fat and then they go skinny.
It's back to, it's kind of the same as big, middle, little. It's just applied to a line. We want big, fat sections of the line, middle section, and then thin, little, small sections.
So I'm going to come here and make this more even. I kind of have a splotchy thing going on so that I can get that line really defined. So again, I'm going around, kind of covering over my lines a little bit so then I can come and put them exactly where I want. You're right, Ron, where if I come here and paint over this, I'm still going to be able to see this. That's okay. It's hard to cover over a dark with a light, but it kind of still works. Look at that. Kind of like that.
I think that's a magic of acrylics. if it's dry and it's thick enough, acrylics can cover up eventually most things.
Eventually. Except for the cursed thing where you're like, it looks when it's wet like it's covered up, and you come back and it's like,
Nope.
that just came through. There we go. I'm going to soften everything out. And then I'm going to work on that line weight. And I kind of like the look right now. It's kind of like poking through a little bit. There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
so many tones.
So many tones. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Shh. Okay. So if you look up close on the canvas again.
Worth it.
Okay. I'm going to take and create the body again. And then I'm going to make the body thin, fat, and thin, thin. Then this little arm, I'm going to squish my brush to get right here a little thicker. And then I'm going to apply less pressure as I go along.
Just like it.
Right? On this side, thick, thin coming down, less pressure where I want it less. Oh gosh. I'm going to blend this in with my finger a little bit. I don't know if I have the capability of painting so flat.
That's the challenge.
That is our challenge today. There we go. If you want a more flat look, blow dry between the steps. Wet into wet is going to create more varying colors. Whoop, like that.
So for you are aiming for this the tone and tone, make sure that your paint is thick enough. I was having an issue when my paint's too thin, so I'm going through and adding a second coat of paint to my dark, and I had to add that second layer to my leaf lights.
Yeah, let's look at Megan's. So you can see where she's put a second layer on there. That's more rich and stuff. That looks really good. Why does mine just look angry?
Don't know.
I don't know. Unless you've been working him until he doesn't look so angry. And you're just going to keep on
I'm just cutting in the darks.
getting rid of the chalk and stuff.
Yeah, cleaning up and just getting it clean as possible. So we want to try to keep those hard lines where the two colors meet.
I'm going to cut back around this because it's dried too light. Doesn't it dry darker?
It dries darker.
But it just looks too light. So I'm going to come in here and match this darkness and the eyeballs to the background. And to do this, I'm going to use a very, very thin coat of paint. I don't want to have to repaint the whole thing over and over again. So I'm going to come here, and it's kind of like a glaze. I'm going to pick up a lot more blue on my brush, lots of water, and I'm going to cut in around it again. I have no ability to make this thing flat. Like, I just can't do it. I have no skill. So, what I've done unintentionally is I have my really watered down blue. And if you come here, look what we're doing. So, camera 2. I'm coming here and I'm squishing. And what's happening is it has a soft edge here. And then where the tip of my brush is dark. And it's creating a shadow. Do you see that? And coming here, squishing. I need more blue on my brush. And creating a nice shadow. I have fought with this thing for the last how long? It's not going flat.
A lot of dimensions.
I have created a lot of dimension. This is supposed to be flat and just about different kinds of greens. And
So next on live, Sarah gets to hang out, and I'll paint step 2.
This is technically
A lot of step 2.
Yes, but we're creating some shadows. If you, Musie. If you can be as cool as Megan and make it that flat and that simple, yay. Yes. You have an ability that I am still developing. Because I just create a lot of depth. Because I move around too much, apparently. But it still looks good. And I like sharing the successes of it slightly different. Yours is definitely not going to look like ours. But it's going to look similar. Hopefully similar enough that you're like, yeah, we use the same reference photo. And that is the goal, is to learn how to see something and paint it.
Yes.
This is what you're developing in these 9 paintings, right? Is look at something, analyze it, paint it. Mm-hmm. And then not beating yourself up too much when
you unintentionally add the many, many layers.
Yes.
Of tones.
It's okay.
No, it looks beautiful. Honestly. It does look more realistic than this one.
Yes, it does.
But I do have to make fun of her because it was not the point.
Are you done?
Yes.
I think yours is gorgeous.
Mine is still more textured than I would like. I was having issues. I can see more of my brush strokes than I was wanting, because I really wanted it to try to be really flat. And
I don't think your paint was thick enough, but then it gets goopy.
And then it gets goopy. See, yeah. So I was you could do it with thin, but it would just require like many, many, many layers.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where, because you can still see a lot of my brush strokes through it.
Yeah, that looks good. Okay, success time.
Success time.
I am very impressed. We have a light, a dark, and a middle. That was our goal with mixing. This looks beautiful. I like the shape of him. He doesn't look angry. Doesn't look like an angry dude. What's your success?
I like the hard edges that I managed to get when I was cutting, for the most part. Some of them are a little soft, but for the most part, they got really clean edges, so I'm proud of that.
I love that. I love that. Good job.
He's so pretty. I really like your green. So you were using a Prussian green, a Prussian blue, in order to mix your greens. And Prussian has my personal favorites of the greens.
Yeah, we're polluting these two palettes.
Yes, because you use normal yellow or cadmium yellow. But so I do like that the changing of your blues gave you a different richness and contrast. And I like your overall shape of your Monstera. It's very believable as a Monstera leaf. Like your soft and hards and curves and flats. Does that make sense? Okay, yes. What was your success?
I like my angry man.
Angry man.
Angry man. Okay, share yours on the group.
Yes.
There's a link below.
Please tell us what your successes were.
And the fun fact, you made it to the end of the video.
But first, before the fact, like, comment, and subscribe, please, if you'd like to see us again.
Or you won't see us again if you don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So my fun fact is that I started my own K-pop fan magazine.
She's a total nerd. We talk about Star Wars and Tolkien. No, Tolkien. Hobbits.
So I started a K-pop magazine, and it publishes literal like fan content. So anything fan art, fan fiction, fan things. All right. So it's all about like fandom and things like that. And I just did that one day because I wanted to.
That is so cool. Like,
She says cool.
no, I think that you like wanted to,
Yeah.
so you did it. How many people want to and don't?
That's true.
You just did it.
I
You
did.
have something that you loved and created it.
I did have to teach myself how to use the formatting too, because I didn't know how to format those pages. Yeah.
So do the same. She's
If
your
you
inspiration.
want something, if you think, oh, this would be really cool if this existed in the world, just do it. Don't wait around for somebody else to do it for you. Just
Make
create
it exists before you make it perfect.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be.
And just, if you don't know
Polished.
how, learn how. It'll be okay.
Okay. Are we done?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, next time we'll be working on step 2 of the Monstera Leaf. We're adding tones, and Sarah's going to hang out.
No, like, I have a long ways to go between there and there. Yeah.
Okay.
Not as far as yours, but yes.
So, thanks for watching along with us. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.